Hello, my name is Hannah. I am from the United States. I am from a state called Missouri. It is located in the middle of the country, also known as the Midwest. I decided to go to school in Europe because it, first of all, is much cheaper than living in the United States and tuition as well. I also knew that I wanted to live in Europe, and so I figured it would be easier to move here as a student than as someone trying to find a job and trying to find community. I think the student life is really nice in that way that you're able to meet a lot of people who are similar to you and in similar walks of life with you and have similar passions. So I think it's a lot easier to assimilate into a culture or a city that way. I study English language and literature because I want to teach English as a second language, and I really enjoy literature. One of my favorite authors is J.R.R. Tolkien. He writes mostly fantasy, such as The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. I really appreciate him as an author because he is just so creative. He created multiple worlds, or one world, but with multiple different people, multiple languages. He created maps. I think he's just insane, really. I also really enjoy his essays and his poetry. I think overall he's a very well rounded individual. He's also a linguist, and to think about the fact that he was writing a lot of his texts when he was in the trenches during war is also very inspiring in and of itself. I also really enjoy a book called Man's Search for Meaning. It is written by Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor. I think his story is really interesting, and what he says in the book is also really inspiring. He essentially states that the essence of life is found in hope. He differentiates between the different people who survived and those who didn't, as one having hope and the other losing it at some point. I think it's interesting to hear that from someone who has been through all that he has been through, and it's an interesting perspective to gain. I also really enjoy philosophy. I enjoy ancient Greek philosophy, such as Stoicism, and some poetry as well. I think it's just, they're really short but sweet exposes on life or nature, beauty, different ideas, and I think it can really enrich our life. Just reading little sections or portions a day, I think it leads to a beautiful aesthetic existence.